been back really for a month now, full time. Have you had a chance to catch your breath at all?
A little bit here and there. Not much, with just got back from the Senior Bowl.
Right.
So we spent the last couple days down there. There's always something going on. You'd love to have, a few days to catch your breath, so to speak, even though we had a long period off,
Right.
if you will.
Well,
but
it was anything but off, though.
No.
I mean, right? Yeah.
No, it wasn't, but there's so much going on. And then, when you lose, a couple coaches, then, you've got to go through the process of replacing those guys. So we've had a lot of stuff going on.
I'm going to get to that in a second. But what, Tina, what have the last couple of weeks been like, really, just to kind of, I don't know, maybe take a breath and just kind of soak everything in a little bit, take everything in?
It's been good. It's been good. Kind of think about it. We had a whole month in the hospital to relax, and then everything kind of got crazy. But it's been good. The last couple of weeks, starting to feel normal again.
If there is a normal, I mean, I guess it is back to normal for you guys, isn't it? A little bit.
It's getting better every day. Justin, again, back to your normal daily grind, if you will. So being removed from what we went through together for 3 months, and then getting back to the team, on the date that we targeted, and going through the playoffs, and then coming back and just kind of starting the process of the off season. It's getting better every day.
If you can, take me back to September 26th. Well, that day, was it worse for you, Chuck? Was it worse for you, Tina?
I think it was worse for Chuck. Although, ironically, he apologized to me for it. It was worse for him than for me.
I tried to, initially, you never think you're going to hear what you're about to hear,
Yeah. There's no way you can be prepared for anything like that.
No, because we all, whether you play, coach, or whatever, we all think, we're invincible and nothing like this will ever happen to you. It can happen to you, especially during the season. It's not like you can call in sick.
Right.
Coaches never do. Players, you just can't. And so, I wanted to go through this and go visit with the doctors myself, and because I didn't even tell her the day before. And doc said, hey, you got an appointment such and such at this time. I said, can I drive myself? He goes, no, you have to call your wife and let her know what's going on. I really didn't want to do that.
I mean, I can't. You're probably worried about her. You're worried about him at the same time. I mean, how do you digest that information and quickly try to figure out what the next step is? Or can you?
It's not easy. It's shocking, but once you know what you're dealing with, and Dr. Kripe was so great about just spelling everything out. And once he gave us a plan, and once he said the word curable, we knew we could deal with whatever we had to for 30 days.
Did you take a big sigh of relief? Okay, it's curable. We've heard that word. Now we can figure out what the next step is.
Yeah, once you get the diagnosis, and then you kind of have a few seconds, a few minutes to, digest it and say, okay, this is real.
Yeah.
Now what's the game plan? Like Tina said, he spelled it out for us. And, then the hard part, again, she had the toughest job. I got wheeled off in one direction, and, she had to make the tough calls to our children, family members, to let them know. And that's who you worry about, is your kids, because they're not there with you.
How do you do that?
You actually called two of them. I called, talked to one. I
Wait,
called his
he bailed
parents.
you out then? Is that what you're saying?
I'm blaming it on the chemo.
Yeah.
I'm still on my way back, so there's a lot of that you don't want to remember.
You called. I wanted to give them another day. I said, let's just think about this. Give
Right.
him one more night. And he said, no, I think we need to tell him. So he told the girls and two of them, and then I told his parents. And
Is it all slow motion when you think back at it? Was it all just?
Very surreal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it almost seems like
Someone
never
else
happened.
is
It
doing
was, we knew there were some tough things to go through. Those were the toughest, was, talking to our kids, and then having to deal with what we had to deal with. And now that it's over, and now that we're back, it's like a blur.
I heard you guys checked in as Dwayne Johnson.
You can tell them that,
The
honey.
Rock? I mean, really? Are you a big wrestling fan? How does this happen?
well, I'm a big rock fan, I guess. I guess I should say that. But it's also they took him off to get him a PICC line, And I'm just sitting here by myself, and this lady came in and said, well, you know, since your husband's not here, you get to pick his alias. We're checking him in under an alias. I'm like, just the first thing popped into my mind, and I knew it would make him smile when he came out, and it did.
Because they came in, you know, after I didn't have any idea. Once we got admitted and got a room and everything, and
Right.
nurse walks in, and I didn't even look at the band on your name on your wrist on the band, you know, and
Oh, it's even on the band on your wrist.
oh yeah,
Is it?
and so she goes, should we call you Mr. Johnson? Should we call you Dwayne, or do you want to go by The Rock? And I'm like, what are you talking about? She goes, your wife never told you? I said, no, we had to check you in under an alias, you know, just to, and so I said, you can just call me Dwayne Johnson, be fine. But we had, you know, Dwayne played at the University of Miami.
Right.
He had just left the year we got back down there in 1995, and so we're big fans. She's bigger than I am, I think.
Has your lives changed at all? Have your lives changed at all because of all this? Or, I mean, do you feel like different people coming out of this?
I don't
together?
think we'll ever be the same,
Yeah.
and I think it's all for the good. You know, because now, after what this city and this organization and these fans and the great people of this state and country and what, you know, their support,
Yeah.
what they did for my family, my wife, all of us, is just very humbling, very overwhelming. But now, the good that'll come out of this is what can we give back? You know, and that's our mission. We have a job to do here, obviously, and continue to do and continue to build this program and move forward towards our main goal, and that's to win a Super Bowl. But you know, how many people can we help?
Right.
And so it's
There's the
every
professional side, and then there's a very, very personal side to all this that you guys are experiencing.
absolutely. And so the emails you get, the phone calls that you get, that you know people are reaching out, and you know, if it's a note, if it's an email back, a phone call back, and we can give back and do the same thing for as many people as we can as they did for us, and that's our goal, that's our mission.
The juxtaposition is odd, isn't it? I mean, here he is, a football coach, one of the toughest sports in America, or for that world, the world, really, and yet you get to experience how delicate life can be. Is he a different guy?
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, definitely.
In what way?
I think, he's more patient. I know that.
Wait, your players are going to like to hear that, by the way, so congratulations.
At least with me, he is, I guess.
Okay. But, I mean, obviously, it's amazing how it all kind of works out, is it not?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we just kind of took our hands off the steering wheel, so to speak,
Yeah.
and you know, faith, family, you know, and friends, and this organization and everybody else. It's you know, very blessed. Feel very, very blessed to be, you know, sitting here today and be able to come back and do what you love to do, and all the things that we talked about that you know we want to continue to do, and things like that. So we're very fortunate.
Can you imagine going through all this without Bruce Arians?
Absolutely not, and not only Bruce, but you know every other man
Ryan
on that
Grigson,
coaching, every
Jim
other man on
Irsay.
that coaching staff,
Yeah.
Mr. Irsay, Ryan, every single player in that locker room, everybody in this organization from top to bottom. We built this thing, and we wanted people, men of character, integrity. You want great coaches, you want great teachers, but more importantly, when we started to put this thing together, we wanted people that would represent the shoe, so to speak. And what we found out, you go through something like this, and what's revealed to you is, you know, just how good of people we are fortunate enough to surround ourselves with. And if you don't have good people like that, and they don't have the integrity that they have, and the character and everything else, again, from top down, from Mr. Irsay on down, then you don't have the season that we have.
This is a Chamber of Commerce question. Can you imagine doing this, going through this anywhere else but Indianapolis? I mean, you and I exchanged some emails about how this community has come together. I mean, you guys were here basically 9 months. This happened.
They didn't know my wife Tina or myself from Adam's House Cat, and for them to embrace our family the way that they did. I kid around all the time when people ask me. I said, if you're going to get sick, this is the place you want to get sick, you know. And if you have to go through something, because the things that you talked about, the people of the city, the doctors, the nurses, everybody down at, Simon Cancer Center. Just, I mean, without them, I wouldn't be sitting here today.
A couple quick questions. I know our time's running out. Football questions. So Tina, chime in when it's okay. Bruce Arians going to Arizona. How difficult was that for you?
Well, it's tough. You never want to lose anybody, especially somebody that is as good at what he does as Bruce. And I think what I talked about in the beginning when we put this whole thing together, we asked everybody to check their egos at the door.
Yeah.
Come to work,
Yeah.
and when you have success, one of the byproducts is there'll be enough to go around. There'll be enough credit to go around when you do that. And when you win, this is what happens. And so, we hate obviously to lose Bruce or anybody for that matter. It's really hard to find great people and great coaches, great teachers. So we wish him nothing but the best, and I know he'll be successful out there.
And Pep Hamilton comes to the table now. What does he bring to that table?
Oh, a lot of pep.
You like him though, and obviously Andrew Luck's going to like him too.
Yeah, obviously, he's a rising star in this business. We're very fortunate to have him. He's got a brilliant football mind. He's very, very passionate, very energetic. Obviously, having the relationship with not only Andrew and Kobe and Griff, some of those guys, he's the type of guy that, again, there's no ego involved. He's been around a bunch of different systems, things like that. So he's just going to come in and add and help us move forward and help us attain that ultimate goal.
Last thing, we talked about this before we started. I spent 5 days covering the Ravens before you guys came out for the playoff game, and I got to know a little bit Bernard Pollard, Ed Reed, Ray Lewis, and the love that they still have for you, and to see this team make it all the way to the Super Bowl, as tough as that was for you to lose that game in a weird kind of way, it's kind of all kind of come together. It's kind of come full circle. It's crystallized your story, their story. This is special, isn't it, Chuck?
It's really amazing when you look at it. I don't know if you could write a better script somehow, some way. It did come together. Obviously we would have loved to gone there and win that football game and things like that. But we couldn't be happier for the guys that you just mentioned and every player and every person in that organization, starting with Steve Bisciotti and on down. I wouldn't be sitting here if it wasn't, for John Harbaugh giving us the opportunity in 2008 to come and be the secondary coach. So we developed a ton of relationships there, and they're great people in that organization, and we can't be more excited for them and wish them nothing but the best of luck.
We hope